Okay, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the MaritimeGardening.com podcast. I'm Dave Doggett, and we're joined again by Greg Otten. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Excellent. So I gather, gardening season is well underway, and the weather's been a little wonky, and you've had various ideas on your mind and things that have come up and frustrations, and so that's how you came up with today's episode title, I guess we want to say, which is Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge. And I
Mm.
guess it makes sense to start off on a positive note and just talk about hodgepodge for a minute because for those that have never had the pleasure of hodgepodge, I guess it's a baby vegetable chowder. That's the simplest way of
Yeah, that's what it is.
describing it. You go into your garden early in the season and you get everything little. And it's about, you could make a hodgepodge now. I don't have all the ingredients that it really depends on what's going on in your garden. There's certainly you wouldn't have any beans right now. Well, maybe depending on where you live. Certainly where I live, beans are not even flowered yet. But I've got potatoes now that are about the size of plums, and I've got I got asparagus, and I've got onion greens, and I got little baby carrots and stuff like that. Yeah, if you've never had it before, look up a recipe online, a Nova Scotian hodgepodge or New Brunswick. I don't know how much the recipes change from place to place. I imagine it's pretty universal. It's just a lot of fresh baby vegetables and like half a cup of heavy cream and half a cup of butter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember my mother serving that when I was a kid, and I looked at it and was disgusted.
Did you eat it?
I had to eat it. I ate part of it. I probably did. But right now, as you're explaining it, it's something that my mouth is watering. So
Oh, it's so luxurious when it's
yeah,
done right.
yeah,
I can unfortunately, over the course of my 30s, I progressively became lactose intolerant.
that's
It's kind of like
unfortunate.
for anyone that's experienced it, it's kind of like a slow death. It's like the death of a food
Well, it would
category.
be. It would be.
Our whole culture revolves around milk
Mm.
and products, so
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to. I've not found a way to make it that tastes. I don't even bother now. There's nothing that's good. All this
The
almond milk,
alternatives.
soy milk, and
Yeah. So,
whatever these.
yeah.
I mean, soy milk is beans.
Yeah.
It's bean milk with sugar in it.
I've often wondered how they get how they get milk out of a bean, but hey, what do I know?
I think they just like smush it up and it looks white, so they call that. It's not milk, right? It's just
No.
white stuff.
Yeah.
White stuff that has a texture that's similar, and then they put a whole bunch of different flavors and sugars into it, so
Yeah.
it tastes good.
Yeah,
And without
hey.
the sugar, it tastes awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't want to go on a rant
No,
on
that's cool. It's a funny rant.
milk substitutes.
Yeah.
And
You're
yeah,
just
for
bitter,
anyone.
that's all.
Oh, and the stuff they call lactose-free milk, it isn't. It's just got lactase added to it, so it's they should really do a thing on Marketplace about that.
Yeah.
If you're lactose intolerant and you drink lactose-free milk, you'll get a really bad stomach ache and other effects.
Tested and proven.
Not worth it.
No.
Anyway, so
Hodgepodge.
today's episode, hodgepodge, and if your garden is there and you've got the right ingredients, go for it. There's nothing like hodgepodge. I really miss it.
Awesome.
But so, because it's hodgepodge, like hodgepodge, I was going to talk about a number of things that were sort of on my mind that are topical for this stage of the growing season and this stage of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was, and this really isn't a vegetable gardening thing, but it's related to permaculture. It's maintaining your lawn.
Okay.
We all have some sort of. If you have a property, you probably have a lawn.
Yep.
I have a lawn.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather not have a lawn. I think there's nothing less.
So would I.
Nothing less sustainable than a lawn. It just does not. Grass wants to be in a field.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't want to be cut and mowed and walked on. It wants to be in a giant field, and it's grazed on just the way we manage it isn't the way they work in nature at all.
Right.
So it's sort of artificial, and you have to do all kinds of things to keep it looking good. But you have to have a lawn if you want to retain the value in your home. So you're sort of
Yes.
this thing. Um, so, it's been really hot lately and haven't had a lot of rain. And I see a lot of people out mowing their lawn right down to the ground like a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, that's just if you want a healthy lawn, you put your mower on the highest setting you can. That will benefit your lawn. I mean, grass wants to be tall. It's always trying to get tall. And if you look at any grass in nature, it's as high as it can get. It's waist high practically, right?
Yeah.
And it needs to be tall so that it can cast shade on the soil and keep the soil from drying out, because grass likes water. Um, so, I mean, you're not going to have it waist high, especially where we are, because you'd be tick.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
But I mean, if it's a matter of if you can get it an inch or two higher, I guarantee you, if you keep it a little bit higher, put your mower on the highest setting it can go to, you will have less of the lawn going brown. And it's almost counterintuitive, because the grass is longer. You think it would need more water because there's more grass, but because it's longer, it's casting more shade on the ground.
Yeah.
So that helps retain the water in your soil.
Mm.
And the other thing is use a mulching blade. These are all things I didn't know. That's why I'm saying that some people probably know this stuff, and it's like, of course I
Right.
know, Greg. Why are you telling me this? Some people don't know this, and they just go on forever doing things the same way. And I just bumbled my way through finding this stuff out over time.
Right.
So change the blade on your mower. Put a mowing blade. A lot of mowers have this thing on the side, and it chucks the stuff out the side.
Yeah.
Right? Does yours have one of those, Dave?
I do believe I've also got one with a bag on the back. I had that on for a while, but I took it off not too long ago.
The bag too.
Yeah.
So, and what I used to do was I would close the side down, and I'd put the bag on, and I'd mow it once every 2 or 3 weeks, because I hated mowing my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stuff would go in the bag, and I'd dump it somewhere.
Yep.
And I mean, think about, grass is a nitrogen hog. It loves nitrogen. It takes nitrogen out of your soil at a ridiculous rate, and you have to keep fertilizing it to keep it green, or to keep it healthy. If the nitrogen level drops in your soil, the grass becomes weak, and the clover and dandelions and every other bloody thing that's flying around in the air, and the seeds, those things start taking over your lawn, and your lawn isn't perfect anymore. Mine certainly isn't perfect anymore. Fine with me, because a perfect lawn is practically impossible to maintain anyway. A little bit of clover in there. Clover puts nitrogen in the soil anyway, so grass and clover they're natural bedfellows anyway. So
Right.
if you're just trying to keep Romeo and Juliet apart, they belong together. So
Yeah.
you're better off just giving into it, because there's clover seeds are everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of putting the bag on, I can tell you, it is a lot easier. It doesn't seem this way because you have to do it often, but it is easier to mow your lawn once a week with no bag and with all the sides closed. So most mowers come with the thing that goes on the side to chuck the
Right.
grass out, the chucker,
Yeah.
or it comes with a hole in the back for the bag.
Yeah.
You close the hole in the back, and you close the thing on the side, and you get a different kind of blade on there called a mulching blade.
Mm.
And what'll happen is, when you're mowing over the grass, it's going to chuck the grass up to the top of the mower and back down, and it's going to cut it up really, really fine. Instead of just cutting the grass, it's going to like a blender.
Yeah.
And so it'll all fall back on.
Oh yeah, I need one of
back
those.
where you cut it. And what that does, it's a mulch, right? And so all that nitrogen the grass took out of the soil, it's going to go back in. And also, because you're mulching a little bit, it's going to keep the sun off the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And again, help retain water in your soil.
Right.
So that's my advice, and regardless of the size. I mean, I've read where it says do this when it's hot or in the middle of summer. No, do it all season long. Put your mower as high as it will go.
Yeah.
Use a mulching blade. Mow it once a week. Don't mow it once a week if it's not growing.
Yeah.
But if it's grown at all, mow it once a week, and do it. Also, do it in the evening. I mean, mowing is a stress, right? You're
Yes.
cutting grass.
Yeah.
So it's better to stress the grass right before the sun goes down, so it can sort of recuperate in the evening there's mists and it's cooler and it's not as intense. So it
Mm-hmm.
can sort of recuperate a bit before the next day's sun hits it. So it's always
Yeah.
better to mow in the evening
Yeah.
instead of at the height of the afternoon. I mean, it's also easier on you instead of being out there in the full sun getting hammered by,
Mm.
you know, the sun gods.
Yeah.
Uh, so, yeah. So that's a little bit on maintaining a lawn. And if you do that, that should decrease your need to add amendments to. So you're still going to need to put probably a nitrogen fertilizer twice a year, and you're probably
Yeah.
still going to need to put lime twice a year
Right.
because we get all this wonderful acid rain.
Mm.
But maybe you don't need to fertilize 3 times a year,
Yeah, maybe.
or as often.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, so that's lawn mowing. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, and I can't speak for every part of the Maritimes, but I know where I am. Things have not worked out the way they have in ideal years in terms of germinations or
Right.
success rates. I mean, some things are growing fine, and like my potatoes came in like I've never had problems with potatoes. I've always been really lucky with that. They came in like clockwork, you know.
Right.
They came in great. But for instance, I had a lot of beans just rot in the ground. Even beans I planted the 1st of June rotted in the ground, which I've never seen.
Mm.
And that's not, I don't have a drainage problem. The soil that was in is not soggy, wet soil. Like I did everything. Just the ground was too cool because the air was cool. It was just cool. It was just unseasonably cool in June.
Yeah.
And also I had a little more slugs and more, I think I
Yeah.
had flea beetles. So plants got sort of decimated and I had to, so, I've been through seasons like this before, and don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Just replant. It's not ideal, right? Ideally, you want to plant everything, either very early in the year or whenever that seeds, it's recommended to plant. And then you just watch it grow and it gets bigger and bigger and it's great. It's just a wonderful feeling watching your garden grow. And it's really
Mm.
demoralizing to see things just fail
Mm.
because the climate or the environment or whatever is just not cooperating with you. It's not being consistent with other years that were better.
Right.
But all you can do is, you give it a week, keep an eye on it, and if it's not growing, just replant. Just keep replanting until the thing starts to grow. Like my kohlrabi would not grow. And I planted some a couple weeks ago, and it's finally growing. That's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
But, sometime in August, I'll have, beautiful kohlrabi. I just won't have it as early as I'm used to.
Right.
It's better than nothing, but the
Yeah.
main thing is to just keep your cool. Don't give up on that. Just keep, if something's not working, just keep going at it like a problem gambler and don't lose heart.
Keep calm and garden on.
And if you, yeah, that's a good motto.
There you
And if you're
go.
getting past problems, just keep trying different things until they're under control.
Yeah.
And even if you lose the whole season because of that pest, write down everything you tried, and then next year try something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything you tried isn't working, so
Speaking of
something
pests,
else.
how's the last week been going?
Well, uh, I've got all the insects under control in my garden, but it's the bigger pests that are becoming. I've got a fence around mine. I got a 10,000 square foot garden, and that's about as much as I can manage by myself. And I got a fence around the whole thing. The fence has a mesh that's about, I don't know, 2 inch by 3 inch, maybe a bit smaller than that.
Right.
And I would think that would keep. I know a porcupine can't. Traditionally, my biggest problems have been porcupines, rabbits, and deer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a deer can jump that,
Mm-hmm.
but my theory is that at least the deer will sort of come along, they hit the fence, and they'll just move.
Right.
They don't bother coming in unless
Yeah.
they see something they recognize.
Yeah.
And I don't see any sign of deer. There's no hoof prints. I mean, I've got the soft mulch, so usually if the deer in your garden, you can see it because
Yeah.
they'll leave a print, right?
Yeah.
There's been no evidence of that, and I make sure I smooth everything out. Any place I've been working, I'll smooth it out flat so that if there's a hoof print, I'll see it. Unless they're being extraordinarily courteous and only walking in the aisles between my garden beds. But I've never, when deer are in your garden, you can tell because they've got their hoof prints are everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll walk in different places and you'll just see them. So I think it's probably rabbits. And I know rabbits can get through it because I went in there one morning and there was a rabbit in the garden. and I chased him, and he ran through that mesh like it wasn't even there. Like I expected him to see him in pieces on the other side. Cheese cutter. Um, but that wasn't the
Yeah.
case. He just went through it like it wasn't even there, and I was like, "Oh no!" And the kind of damage I'm getting is sort of consistent with that. It's just a little bit of grazing. I mean, if you get a porcupine in your garden, and this whole section we're going to do in the show here today, I call this gardening in the wilderness, since it's really
Yeah.
probably of more inch. I mean, it's probably going to be funny for people that are, if you're in the suburbs or in the city, you're way better off. If you're thinking of moving to the country to have more land so you can garden more, don't.
Don't.
Well, I mean, sure, do it. But I
Yeah.
mean, understand that you've got sure, you don't have this, you've got more real estate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, if your property backs onto a forest like mine does, or if all these wild animals can get at your garden, you've got a whole list of problems now you never had. I didn't have any of these problems before when I lived in the suburbs. I had a beautiful garden. It wasn't as big as the one I have now, but I mean, everything grew great. And the only thing I had to deal with was slugs and a couple things like it was just so minor,
Yeah.
peanuts compared to now. Now I've got so many other things that are way more problematic. So I'm pretty sure it's a rabbit getting in there. I built a scarecrow because the birds were eating my strawberries. Like 1 in every 3 strawberries had a bird hole in it.
Nice.
And then once a bird hole would get in there, all the insects would be like, oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
I think strawberry has a sort of texture that's kind of rough and prickly almost. It doesn't bother us because we're big, but if you ever look at a strawberry really closely, it's sort of spiny.
Yeah.
So I don't think slugs and things really like it too much.
Mm.
But once there's a little hole in it, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Gateway.
So I had to put a net over all my strawberries, and that seems to have kept the birds down somewhat.
Mm.
And this is the first year I had that problem. The last 2 years I didn't have a problem with birds eating I mean, I had birds eating my strawberries, but it was like, oh, those birds. It wasn't 1 in every 3
Yeah.
being ruined.
Yeah.
It was so minor I didn't mind sharing with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Read a lot of permaculture. They're like, oh, you share with nature, which it's a great idea. And if they're only taking 10%, that's fine. But, if they're taking like half or 33%,
That's
no, man,
that's not fine.
not that generous.
Yeah.
Not forget it. That's not why I'm doing all this. Yeah, I've got some sort of rabbit in there every night, I think, taking a little piece of something. The scarecrow I put in my garden is so lifelike that it scares the hell out of me. I'll be working in there and I'll turn around and I'll see this because I put a head on it and everything.
That's funny.
And it's about my size, and I'll turn around and scare the hell out of me. It's a guy in a hoodie. Looks
Yeah.
like a bank robber or something like that.
You're gonna beat the snot out of that thing some night you're out there.
Exactly. Maybe I'll take my rage out on.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, it hasn't seemed to have done anything to deter the rabbits. And maybe it's kept the birds down a bit. I don't know, but they're just still in there. And I'm at my wit's end. You got to have a fence around your whole garden, but you also have to have a fence that's fine enough to keep rabbits out.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's just that fence. So what I'm going to have to do is, I don't even know if it makes any sense this year. Maybe it does. I need to go around the bottom 2 feet of that fence all the way around, all 200 feet of it, and put a 2 or 3 foot high mesh fence that's finer than the one that's there.
Yeah.
To keep them, and it's got to be all the way to the ground, right? To keep them out. I mean, you'll read about stuff where they say, oh, just put some garlic in a blender with some water and spray that all over your plants and they won't like it.
Yeah.
Which it probably will work, but on the scale, I mean, if I had like 2 4x10 garden beds, sure. Because the problem with all those approaches is every time it rains, you got to reapply that stuff.
Yeah.
And you got to reapply it anyway because it just breaks down. So I mean, every night, it's a big space.
Yeah.
It just can't be out there spraying the whole thing. Plus, I don't have that much garlic, but spraying the whole thing with some weird spray every night. Just not. It's on the scale I'm gardening at. Remember, I'm trying to supplement my grocery bill. The long-term goal is to not have to buy any vegetables for an entire summer, fall season.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that, your garden needs to be large enough, and if it's large, these sort of like spray applications, they're not going to work.
No.
You gotta keep everything out. You just got to keep everything out. And you can put traps in your garden, but I can tell you I've done that in previous years, and it's almost foolish because so you get, I've trapped porcupines. That's a hard thing to handle. Okay, you get a porcupine in a cage trap.
Mm-hmm.
It's a porcupine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's a hard thing to handle, and you got to get it far enough away that it doesn't come back,
Yeah.
or you got
Yeah.
to take it out. If you're up to that, and there's other ones. It's not the only one. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like the last porcupine on Earth or the last. So if I cage this rabbit and let's say I put him in my car and drove him 10 miles away,
Yeah.
what? There's no rabbits left now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've tried to do it, and it seems to be an ongoing, exhausting thing. It's so much easier to keep them out, especially if you have young children, because you can't have them see any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're, a rabbit in the cage, even if you're not killing it, it's all distressed. It's crying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
so you
not the greatest thing for a young
sneak
child.
out at 5 a.m. and get it out of your garden before your kids get traumatized. It's just not. It's
Yes,
ridiculous.
we'll have to have
Hunting in the garden.
hunting in the garden. There, I think that's a new show.
I guess if you were in a survival situation, you
Hey, what
could
are you
pick
gonna
it
do?
up so that the thing it stays in there. It gets like it
Yeah.
comes in and doesn't get out. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of handy, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you recoup the calories that you lost. Uh, um, anyway, a fence is the way to go. But if you got to put a fence down, it's got to be high and it's got to be fine. Certainly, a 2x3 mesh is not adequate.
Right.
So well, that's about the size of a rabbit's head, so probably can't get the rest of itself through. A rabbit's head's about the size of your fist,
Yeah.
and I don't even think I can get my fist through that mesh.
No.
I can barely get it through. So how
So,
they get the whole body through, I don't know.
yeah, exactly. So, it'll probably eat up too much time, but what about, some people's gardens, they do have nets over the top to keep that's to keep birds out, I assume?
Yeah, the nets keep all the sort of
You don't
birds.
bother with that because yours is too big?
Well, I have nets over my strawberries,
Right.
but I mean they're just laying on the ground, sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if your garden's small enough, sure, but
Mm.
I'd need like a circus tent.
Yeah.
That that would be a
And
bit.
airplanes coming in the hallway. Look out your hand window there. There's Greg Otten's garden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I wouldn't want to prevent. Let's say there was a rabbit in my garden eating. I
Right.
wouldn't want to prevent an owl or an osprey from coming in and just executing that thing. How they don't? There's an osprey that lives
Yeah.
like one house over, like in the forest, but
Yeah.
let's say 300 yards, there's an osprey nest.
Easily within range.
I hear that osprey all the time, and it obviously has young because it makes a noise anytime any bird comes near it. And it's like, why don't you just protect me? Just
Yeah.
hover. It's all right here, man. Come on in and
Maybe
just
you can
take.
train it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
when I need one of those, like,
Yeah.
those falcons, the guys that live.
Yes.
Oh, that would just be the
Garden
greatest.
garden falcon.
Oh, that would be great, man. I would love.
I bet there'd be a good market for that. And we're getting
Suppose.
sidetracked.
Yeah, that would be well, because the other thing, some people say just keep a dog in your garden or keep some sort of animal in the
Yeah.
enclosure. But if you could somehow get like some sort of bird of prey to just hang out there, that would be a great symbiosis. Yeah, that'd be the way to.
Well,
You might be onto something there, Dave.
why don't you build an osprey nest? Put it on a pole just
You know
outside your
how
garden.
high they
Yeah,
are.
I know. That wouldn't work very well.
I need
You got
100 foot
lots of
ladder.
trees, man.
I would need 100-foot high ladder, and I'm not that brave.
Telephone pole.
Oh, forget it, man. Have you
Yeah.
ever been up a tall ladder like that? I
Yeah,
used to
no
work
thanks.
40-foot ladders when I was in university,
Oh
and
yeah.
oh man, nothing will inspire you to get an education that we're like working on a 40-foot ladder.
Yeah, no, I'm not terrified of heights, but yeah, no, I'm not a fan of being up that high.
No, 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 no. It's definitely a younger person's game.
Yeah,
You lose your nerve as you get closer to
for
your
sure.
own. once you become aware of your mortality.
Yeah, maybe a drone. Maybe you can get a drone and just that.
Drone strike.
Then you gotta fly it all the time.
Drone
We're
strike. We're way off topic here.
we are. We're like we're beyond way off topic, but that's okay. It was good for a
Yes.
laugh. So I think you got us down. We were at fences when we jumped off the fence.
Right. Oh, look, there was one last thing I was going to talk about, and because I think that's about does it for garden. I'll have to do
Yeah.
more on gardening in the wilderness,
Right.
but I don't know to what extent listeners are in that situation. It might
Mm.
be a very select few that are in that situation.
Yeah.
If you
Let us know if you're listening.
let us know, yeah, and if you have any solutions, I'd love. This is all new for me. I mean, you know, my experience is about getting stuff to get growing and keeping the soil healthy and keeping the plants healthy. This whole like dealing with every wild animal in the world,
Mm.
this is new to me. I didn't grow up with it,
Yeah.
and I'm not experienced with it. I moved to this property in 2011, and
Yeah.
it really started becoming a problem last year. My first few years, I don't think like all the local animals knew I was here or
Yeah.
whatever, or scared of me, or
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have the kind of problems I have now,
Yeah.
which are
Now
just
they're like, this guy actually makes food.
this is delicious.
Yeah. This
You
guy
know, I could
knows what
eat
he's doing.
grass or I can eat this. What would you rather eat? Grass tastes awful. You ever tried to eat grass?
Yeah. No, I
It's
haven't.
oh, I have. It's
Mm.
awful.
That must have been a bad gardening year.
I'm
Yeah.
starving. That's really hungry.
Yeah. You were hungry
Uh,
that day.
yeah. No, the only last thing I was going to talk about was because I talked about composting last week, and I
Yeah.
never talked about vermicomposting.
Okay.
Um, and vermicomposting is this thing you'll see a lot of guys do it on YouTube. I've watched the videos, and I just can't seem to, catch the buzz. You get a bucket in your garage. This is something you can do indoors. You get like a big plastic bucket in your garage, and you fill it
Okay.
full of red wiggler earthworms. And the guys on YouTube will usually give you, a link to a place you can go to buy them. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
buy worms. Did you get that? Buy worms.
I got that. That sounds bad already.
Buy worms on the internet,
Yeah.
and you put those store-bought worms in your. I mean, they're a particular kind of worm that are very prolific and
So
break.
I'm putting dirt in my garage and I need to buy worms for it. Got it? Check, check.
Yes, and then you're going to put all your kitchen scraps in there,
Well, that's gonna smell good.
and I think you got to cut them up a bit too to help
Yeah.
help things along.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it seems like almost like a ghoul, like an aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you also have to have a drip tray underneath it, so like all the worm pee
Oh.
comes out. You gather that up, and that's like useful stuff too. You got to gather that.
There, wait a minute. There's worm pee.
There's this liquid that comes out that I don't know exactly. I mean, I think it's all.
That sounds like a whole show right there.
I think it's just their excrement. Their
Yeah, yeah.
excrement. Say a liquid,
Yeah.
the composition is. I don't know. Anyway, this stuff comes out, and
Yeah.
you got to collect it because you can't leave that stuff in there because it becomes rancid. So
Mm.
you've got this sort of ongoing thing where the stuff's coming out, and every so often you sort of change the soil over a bit, and you're supposed to get this really nice, beautiful black earth.
Yeah, lovely.
But I would imagine that after an entire year of doing that, using your table scraps, you probably might get like, a few gallons or something.
Mm.
It just seems to me so much easier just to have a garden where worms want to be.
Well, that
And
would make sense. Yeah, I guess the only one advantage that comes to mind is you wouldn't have wildlife getting into it. But
well,
that's
there's
it.
that.
That
That
would be
is a
it.
solution. Assuming a bear doesn't like rip open
Well,
your door.
that's a good point right there. Yeah.
That smells great in there.
Yeah, yeah, that smells good.
And it would be nothing for them. I don't know if you've ever seen those like Discovery Channel. There was one channel where they were showing how strong a grizzly bear was, and they put a stake or something under this huge rock. I mean, a rock the size of like a car,
Oh,
right?
really?
And just to see if they had to use, they had to use a front end loader or whatever to
Right.
lift it up, see if the bear could get at the stake. And I mean, it moved the rock out of the way the way I'd wipe a book off my desk. It just went like, and it was off. It was gone. That's how strong those things are.
Yeah, well, didn't you say you saw one running down the road recently?
One ran across our street yesterday. My wife was in the kitchen and she started yelling.
Yeah.
We all went out and made a lot of noise, and
Yeah, well, it was probably running to tell its whole family they need to come back and rip up your fence.
let's rip that fence out and eat
Yeah,
the whole thing.
take that out.
No, we
Yeah.
all went out and acted really macho and tried to scare the bear away, like we could do anything.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, black bears are a little more sane, or
Generally speaking, they're
generally
you know,
speaking.
but I mean, my neighbor was probably the neighbor that was closest to that black bear was in his backyard, and he was probably 30 feet from where the black bear emerged from the woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was working back there.
Wow.
And another neighbor was probably another 80 feet away mowing his lawn.
Huh.
That thing just went across the street. So, I mean, and this was, in the evening, like,
Oh, wow.
supper time, sort of,
Yeah, yeah.
6 o'clock. So, I mean, that's brazen.
That is. Maybe if anybody's got any crazy wildlife stories related to their gardening, or things that have happened to them, or things they've heard, go ahead and leave a comment on maritimegardening.com/011 for episode 11, and let us know, or share it on our Facebook page, or let us know, because that'd be fun to hear.
Black bears and a few things. I mean, I saw YouTube footage of one of those things. It climbed up a telephone pole. It
Yeah.
got electrocuted.
Oh, I saw that.
It fell off. I mean, it got electrocuted. I mean, the giant lightning bolt spark off the
Yeah.
pole. It
Yeah.
fell all the way to the ground, hit the ground, and ran. I mean, that's tough.
I did see that. I saw
I
that.
am not that tough.
It was hard to watch, and I was like,
I don't know
what?
anybody that tough.
No, nobody.
It fell. It
Yeah.
got electrocuted, and it fell to its death.
It
and
was
got,
like 30 feet, right? I mean, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that, and I was thinking, man, that is tough.
That's like superhero abilities.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them. No. That's a superhero. You're
If
just
they
like,
if
you
they
know.
want your garden, they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
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 So-
Luckily, I think they really don't want much to do with gardens this
no,
time.
they've got lots of berries in the woods and stuff. Is that what they're after?
Ever figure out my strawberry garden, it's over for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing right now. Hopefully, they're maybe just, I don't know, maybe they're killing baby deer or something. I don't really
Well,
know
that
what
that
they're
could
doing.
be. I don't know if they do that or not, but maybe they do. Who knows?
As long as they leave my strawberries alone, I don't
It
care.
doesn't matter. Yeah. That was awesome. This was a great episode.
That's good.
So once again, yeah, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hope we didn't offend anybody. We probably did. We apologize for that in advance. If you're composting in your garage, we do apologize.
Yeah. Well, I
but-
mean, that's fine. Just do it. That's,
Hey, yeah, no, or let us know how it's working.
Yeah. Tell me how much you get.
Yeah.
How much? What do you get out of that?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like it's worth it to me. Seems like a lot of work for not a lot of return. But
Yeah.
but maybe that's the solution for my not being able to compost in my.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know. My wife would probably say, "What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't think so, Greg.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I
It
don't think so.
stinks."
Yeah.
But something about the worms is supposed to not stink because they sort of do something in there that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. If someone's doing it, please let me know how it's. I would love to know.
Yeah, let us know.
I've not tried this, so I mean, I'm giving you my opinion on something I've not tried. Full disclosure on that.
He's just being a YouTube troller.
I'm
Yeah.
trolling for fun. No,
But,
so
no.
yes, please inform me. I would really like to know what the draw is, and if it's something I should be doing, maybe then
Yeah.
talk me into it. That'd be
Cool.
great.
No, that's great. No, that's perfect. Hey, we're always open to new ideas and new thoughts.